Good morning, boys. I hope you are doing well and that you had a good 3-day weekend and are ready to begin working. So today, boys, we are in week number 7 and today we are Tuesday. So we will be doing English today and our worksheet is called New Friend. So please take out this worksheet. Your worksheet should look like this. You have a picture to your right of three. There's 2 girls and one is holding a teddy bear and the other one looks like she's throwing a doll. And then you have 4 questions. Do not forget to write your name and the date on the top. And before we start with our assignment today, I want to go over some strategies that we will be using for today's assignment. So we're going to go over some reading comprehension strategies. And the first strategy we are going to talk about is infer. And this probably means readers infer meanings by using clues in the text and from prior knowledge to help them understand what is happening. So what this means is that you are going to use clues from the text and things you already know, whether you already experienced it or you have read about it before, and you're going to give, when you use those 2 things together, you're going to give yourself like an image of like what you think is going to happen. Most of the time, like, we see little clues, we're like, oh, I know where they're at, or oh, I know what's gonna happen. Why? Because based on the clues and based on prior knowledge on things that you have already experienced, you can come with that conclusion. And when we do that, it is called, we are inferencing. We infer. Our next strategy is visualize. So in my mind, I see. Readers visualize by making a picture in their mind about what is happening in the text. So every time we read, we always give ourselves this little image in our head about what we are reading. Sometimes we can see what is going on. Sometimes we can see like, oh, I know what's going to happen next. It is very important to visualize, boys, because it will help you whether it's answering questions or just giving it that little help, that little push that just like, oh, I know what's going on. It's just better. At least it's better for me to visualize what is going on because I can give myself an idea like, oh, okay, I get it. The next is predict. And I predict that readers predict by using clues from the cover, pictures, and words to make good guesses about what will happen next. So we always predict whether we know it or don't know it. Sometimes we're like, oh, ya sé lo que va a pasar, miss. That is predicting. Or we're like, oh, I know what's happening, or I know what's going to happen. We don't know yet because we haven't read it, but yet we're predicting. We think, we guess, we are making inferences and we are making predictions on what is happening. We should always look at pictures. We should always look at the title. Those 2 things can always give us a little clue on what the story will be about. Next one is questions. I wonder why. Readers ask questions to better understand the text. So questions we should be asking is who, what, when, why, and how. The next one is monitor and clarify. Does that make sense? Readers monitor by stopping when the text doesn't make sense. Readers use strategies to be sure they understand what they are reading. So we should always stop and be like, did I understand? If I didn't understand, we should reread it again. Or we should try to look for clues or try to predict. But we should not move on if we do not understand that paragraph, boys. So in every paragraph, you should stop and you should think a little like, do I understand what they're talking about? If you do, then that's great. You should continue going. If you don't, read it again. We can reread it as many times until you understand it. There's no rush and there's no problem with rereading. And those are the strategies we should be using and will be using for today's reading. So for today's reading, we know that the title is New Friend. So, and we see pictures here of two girls, one with a teddy bear and the other one throwing like a doll. So based on the picture and the title, what do you think the story is going to be about? I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about it. Yeah, maybe she bought a stuffed doll and it's going to be her new friend. Or maybe her friend gave her that doll and she considers it as a new friend. We know that there's a new friend involved. And because of the picture that we see here, we know that it either has to do with the doll or it has to do with the bear, or maybe the little girl. Maybe she's new and they're talking about their favorite stuffed animal, and maybe she will be her new friend. So we have already made our little inference. We have looked, we have visualized. So now let's read the directions. It says, read or listen to the teacher read. The passage below about a new friend. Answer the questions about the text. Ask your own questions that can be answered by reading the text. So, boys, I'm going to read the story. All I want you is to follow along and pay attention. All the answers to this worksheet will be right here in these two paragraphs. So please make sure you are listening. So let's begin. Calliope is my new friend. She is 6 and she just moved to our town from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I have never been to South Dakota. I grew up in Rhode Island. Calliope said that she lived on a farm and had cows and pigs. I only have a dog. I'd love to have a pig. Calliope has 4 brothers, but I am an only child. She also likes country music, but I prefer to listen to top 40. We are pretty different. After knowing Calliope for a few weeks, though, I realized that we are a lot alike too. We both like to read. I have 17 Barbie dolls and Calliope has 15. We like to share Barbie clothes. I have a collection of shells I found at the beach here in Rhode Island, and Calliope has a bunch of rocks she collected in the hills of South Dakota. Some even have fossils in them. I think Calliope So now, boys, we know that the friend she's talking about isn't the doll, it's the girl. She came from South Dakota and is now her new friend. And at the beginning, she thought that they were very different because they had some differences that Calliope had and that she did not like or she did not prefer. But then as the times went by and the more they started to know each other, she started to realize that her new friend was a lot like her. They shared a lot of things they did like. So now, boys, we have 4 questions right here. I will answer one with you, and you will answer the rest on your own. So for question number 1 says, who are the main characters? So who are the 2 people we are talking about? So yes, Calliope is one of them. And there's no name for the other girl, so I'm just going to put the girl. We can put the girl or the other girl. Those are the 2 main characters of the story, boys. Even though they didn't mention her name, she is still part of it because she is the one talking about her new friend. So we know that one of them is named Calliope and the other one is her. So now, boys, you have 1, 2, 3 questions, and then you have another one over here in the back. This is a bonus one. Ask a question about this text. So they want you to ask a question about it. So any question you want, if you do this question, you will get extra points, boys. So once you are done with this worksheet, please submit it to Teams as well as your thumbs up for attendance. If you have any questions or need any help at all, please feel free to reach out. I am always here to help. Once you are done, you are good for today, boys. I will see you here tomorrow. Bye.